All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, colleagues, from wherever you are joining this this seminar series. So welcome. We appreciate you joining us. If you are joining us for the first time, this is the African Science Frontiers Initiatives Science Seminar Series. It's a monthly program we have, and this year we have been discussing issues that actually mean quite a lot to us. My name is Bright Wow, and I am the convener of this science seminar series. And I have my colleague, Dr. Emma Sop, who is the co-convener. She's speaking today, so I wouldn't let her speak now. I will introduce her and she will come in at the appropriate time. So welcome. Today we are discussing quite an interesting topic that I believe concerns every one of us. So welcome. As you notice, everyone is muted at entering. That is because we are recording this to minimize noise and to coordinate our participation. But as you go through this, and as Dr. Sub will be speaking, please take notes of the questions you have and note them down. Time will come when we will open the floor for you to ask your question. All right, before I bring her on board, let me just make the usual introduction about the platform we are here using. So we are looking at who funds your research and projects, exploring the landscape of research funders in Africa. I'll come back to that. But the platform we have here is the African Science Frontiers Initiatives. And our vision is to raise the next generation of African scientists with the right competencies to drive Africa's developmental and transformational agenda. It's not a mouthful vision. It's actually a vision that has various ingredients that we are very passionate about. And that is because our continent needs research. Our continent needs you. Our continent needs me, so that we can work together and profile solutions that will help us to go in the right direction. So we know that one of the challenges is competencies. And how do we do that? We do that through opportunities we have like this, to engage in conversation. Last night, for instance, we had another session to grow in our capacity to do what we are passionate about. So it is when we do that, we're able to drive our individual and institutional visions, and we have the competence. So we want to instill excellence in African science through competence acquisition, capacity building, and career development. That is our mission. So that in what we do, our research can contribute to tackling our challenges. We organize seminars like this. We organize workshops like we had last night. We organize hands-on courses that cover a different aspect of the scientific research methods. And then we have a mentoring program. A robust one is being developed for the SFI members, and I hope that you can be part of that movement, what is happening there. And that is by joining the members of the organization. We also have research programs. We conduct research. And in fact, as I will mention later on this evening, one of the next seminar series in October, the October edition, will focus on one of the research we have done about funding. I will come back to that. So the issue is that these research things we do are there to help us to generate conversations about things that are dear to you. Some of the research we have done now, many of those will be presented as abstract. Some of you are presented abstract in the upcoming ASFI conference. So this year we have been working on quality, productivity, impact. Quality, productivity, impact. That is what we have been working from January. And that reflects in the different programs we have. So in January, we looked at journal publishing in Africa, January to June, and from July until the end of the year, we are looking at the issues of research funding. All right, so that brings us to the topic of today: who funds your research and project? Exploring the landscape of research funders in Africa. I think some of the challenges African scientists have is really to secure funding for their research. In many cases, people use their money, people use their meager money they pay them, a salary, to do research so that they can have output to show what they are doing. And that is pitiable, because it shouldn't be in that way. Well, if you survey the reasons why people do that, well, I don't know where to apply. I don't know how to apply. I don't know who funds my research. I don't know where they are. Well, tonight I want to try to answer those questions by providing you a cocktail of ideas and sources. Dr. Sob will be helping us to do that. So I think this session is very important, and we are happy to have you joining us. The conversation shouldn't stop here, because we don't know it all. All right. So if there are sources you might have missed, I think Dr. Sob, you can take notes. We can open a database where people can go and put in their own ideas of what they know. Somebody may be working in the social sciences, in the humanities, in the computer science, and we may not know local or continental or international funders that fund research in their area. And so it will be good to have such, so that we can develop it and utilize that information for the benefits of everyone of us. All right, so our speaker for today, Dr. Eman Sob. Well, let me start from bottom of what I've put there. She's the co-convener of this platform we're having this evening. She's the co-convener, and she has been doing so since we started in 2020. More than 3 years now, she has been in that role. She is also the Director of Science and Communications for ASFI. All right. And then I go up. She's an associate professor of chest diseases at the Faculty of Medicine for Girls, Al-Azhar University in Egypt. She's also an associate professor of respiratory therapy at Taiba University in Saudi Arabia. She has a MSc, and she's a medical doctor, getting her degrees from Al-Azhar University in Egypt. She's an editorial board member of several international journals. And then in 2017, 2018, she was selected as a mentor at the New York Academy of Sciences. She's an author of around 60 papers in international journals. Dr. Sob is a very dedicated and hardworking scientist and is passionate to contribute to capacity building and career development of Africans. And she has agreed, based on the knowledge she has of what is happening across our continent, to present this topic this evening. So it's a pleasure for me to introduce her. And please, as she comes on, take note of your questions, take note of your ideas, and we'll be collecting them behind the scene as she speaks, so that in the end, we can try to address those questions. Every frustration you have, please bring them up. It is a forum to discuss, it's a forum to know, it's a forum to discover and contribute. All right, Dr. Sob, I hand over the mic to you. The floor is yours.
Thanks, Clyde, for introducing me and for your kind words. It's my pleasure to be with you all here in African Science Frontiers Initiative Science Seminar Series. As you said, it is a platform for communication and collaboration and discussion, and we all here for doing something to improve research and development of science in Africa. And that's we hope we achieved some during the past more than 3 years, and we will achieve more in the future through working together. Let me share. Do you see my screen?
Yes, we see, Eman. Sure.
As we know, Africa represents 20% of the Earth's surface. It is one of the largest continents in the world. Africa is a home for 1.3 billion people, and this number is likely to duplicate by 2050. Africa boasts 60% of the world arable lands, large south of forests, and also had 30% of the world's reserve of minerals, and has the youngest population worldwide. This is one of the most important advantages of Africa. The number of youth and the young population is very high, and this is the working hands that can achieve more and more for development. However, Africa produces only 3% of global GDP. Africa accounts for less than 3% of international trade, also 25% of global disease burden. Africa contributes just 2% of the world research output. Africa accounts for only 103% of research spending and 0.1% of all patents. And this is for the number of population, and the area Africa represents is very limited. So why is this? We spoke too much about this during seminar series since we started. We discussed the challenges and the opportunities for science and research in Africa. So you can go through a YouTube channel to view past discussions and see why Africa is in this situation and what we try to change and to improve this situation is through the discussions and the action we take through ASFI. Africa also suffers from brain drain. This is the migration of skilled personnel, population, scientists, and also mainly in the medical sector. they migrate outside Africa because of many reasons, including poor economy and lack of finance, and also the poor situation of their working environment. There are, for example, in Egypt, about 65 of Egyptian doctors are working abroad, and this number increased greatly in the past 3 years. The same situation for different African countries, including Nigeria, Liberia, and different African countries. This situation also in all STEM fields. This mainly suffering for African countries where these scientists and the skilled personnel migrate abroad and leave their places. Several challenges has been reported for research in Africa. These challenges include poor infrastructure, lack of funds, lack of training, lack of mentoring, and lack of investment in science and technology fields. People say that we don't know opportunities where to apply. We don't hear about opportunities. As Bright said, we have 2 surveys, one about quality and the productivity and the impact of research, and one about research funding environment in Africa. And the output and results of these surveys will be preliminary data will be launched during the next seminar and during the upcoming African Science Frontiers Initiative Conference and the bootcamp. So stay tuned to know the actual percentages of these barriers and the current situation of funding in Africa. Who funds research? This is applied generally to any country. This is not specific for Africa. There are some institutional funds, national and international funds. Institutional funds means that your university or research institute, or even if you are working in industry, these have some grants and some funds for research and for education. The budget for this is directly from budget for your institute, and maybe some institutes provide funding for publication. These grants, the application is very rapid compared to national and international, but the amount of money is very small because it is taken from the main budget. There are some institutes that give hours for research publication, and some can provide funding for or compensation for publication cost, article processing charges, and other costs for publication. Some institutions have joint programs with other institutes or industry, and they announce it inside the institute. Actually, when we see and explore these opportunities, most of this money return back to the university or institute budget because of lack of applications, because people don't know about this. Usually the advancement is within the institute, but people are either not interested or have some background ideas about these funds, that these are small, does not need to invest in their time and the effort in applications to get a small amount of money, or even they don't know about the time framework for this, when this open or the calls are closed, application process details, and most of money, as I said, in different institutes returned back to the university or institute budget again. There are some national budget for research, like academies of science, some government funds, and joint program between industries like medical companies and some industries in the country, either national or international, but this joint program with the government or academies of science, and also from some non-governmental organizations within the country, and also some international funding, like European Union, international governments that announce international call for international funding and university grants. The advantage of national, these are have more amount of money than institutional, but the application process is more complex. As for institutions, you only need approval from your department or your university, but for national, you may need more approvals or more requirements. It is more competitive because different institutes participate in these applications, and the process is more slow, but the budget is higher. For international funding, the competition is very high because different people and different institutes from different countries apply. They have different backgrounds, and applications are very competitive. The time frame may be narrow from the start of application till the closure of application period. Compared with the requirements you need and approvals you need, approval from your department, from your institute, you may need some approval from other entities like safety and other entities that should approve before you apply for international funds. And also the time you spend for making collaboration and collecting people who are willing to participate with you if this is a collaborative project. It is a more complex application, and the requirements for the proposal are very high. Also, the budget is very, very large. It may be up to million dollars or million euros, and may include infrastructure and devices, also travel and training grants, while institutional or national mainly directed for only one of these. Either they support your research, mostly they do not supply infrastructure or devices like lab instruments or medical devices required. So the international is very, very competitive, and also the competition have at the end, you have a suite that's you have a large amount of money for your project, so you can make projects that are costly, and also you can change your or build your infrastructure. You can initiate a lab, or you can initiate even you can initiate a hospital as you see the requirements of these funding opportunities. These are frequently asked questions about funding we receive. Who funds research in Africa? How do I get funding to my research thesis, or even funding to attend a conference and to participate by abstract? How to get funding in Africa, and also the requirements for funding. I don't know funding opportunities where I can find them. I don't know how to apply, where I can find direction for this, where I can find instructions to apply. And we will answer some of these questions. And if you need more, please keep tuned and follow our future activities. Important notes before application to any funding opportunity. You should read carefully the description, eligibility criteria, time frame for funding, all instructions posted by the funder before application. You do not need to waste your time in application for funding opportunities that is not directed for you, that the amount of money is very small and your project needs a large amount unless you will apply for different opportunities. Funding program can support education, training, visits, research, or all of these. So you should think clearly what you need. If you need to build infrastructure, you should search for funding opportunity that gives you this item, that supports this item. And if you want to fund your visits or conference participation, you should apply to one that supports this item. Some funding opportunities have special eligibility criteria, for example, certain nationalities and age group, other are gender-based. There are some funding opportunities for women, specifically for women. Some have discipline-based, so read carefully the description of each opportunity. Now we will explore the funders' background and across Africa. We start with some international funders like European Union. European Union have different opportunities, most of them mainly directed for European citizens, but some allow international participation like Erasmus Plus, and there is also one directed for Africa like Intra-Africa Academic Mobility Scheme. Other opportunities, the description is written, which citizens and for non-European citizens, which countries are allowed. We have Erasmus Plus. This is program support education, training, youth, and sport in Europe. This program gives a very large amount of funding, reach millions. But this program needs a European partner, and sometimes the requirement European partner should apply as a principal investigator. There are some grants for individual and others for organizational programs. For individuals from non-European countries, some opportunities like Erasmus Mundus joint programs. These are directed for obtaining a master degree, and also there are some programs for student and staff exchange and youth exchange schemes. These grants are open to all international students, but the application have some privileges, especially for certain age groups, and also some other requirements. Here, this link is for each side. You will go through, you can read specific details for each program. Also, we have the World Health Organization specific TDR program. This program is directly for medicine and healthcare, especially neglected tropical diseases. It is a small grant up to $15,000. This program this year is not open for Africa, it's open for Asia, but during the year it opened for Africa. This program also includes training. It is mainly directed for implementation research, includes training and research. There are other opportunities for in the TDR program. There are also the massive open online course, MOOCs on implementation research. This course opens several times during the year. It is totally online and self-based training. At the end, you will receive certificate and you will be member for the TDR platform to receive updates. Also, for the European Union, there is Intra-African Academic mobility program. This is in association, sometimes is in joint association with the European Union, African Union, or African Academy of Sciences. This program is for mobility, research, capacity building, education, and it is a large grant. It provides fund for capacity building and fund for infrastructure. Also, you can make joint degrees like masters, and for also for undergraduate and postgraduate degree. This program is closed now, but during the year it opens, and this program needs participation from different sectors of Africa, north, south, east, west, and central. It provides funding for a different discipline, and also increase exchange between African countries and African institutes. So this exchange is very limited across Africa. Mainly African look for exchange with European or American or Canadian countries, but this program supports the intra-African exchange. There is for students and also for staff exchange, and the application process is also competitive, but you do not need here European Union partner. This is a great opportunity, and the application should be through institutes. It is not an individual application. There is also African Union research grant program, some joint programs with European Union, and there are some hours like regional women scientist hours and other hours for continental African scientists. These hours up to 20,000 United States dollar, and also this given to two persons. The call is not open now, but this is the website. You can follow up the call, and this is after doing research, not for research, but this can support you for doing future research. There is also international United States Agency for International Development, USAID. This provides scholarships, and this is different for different countries. For example, in Egypt, it provides scholarships for a master degree, locally and internationally, totally supported and fully funded by this fund. This is in joint collaboration with the governments, and these programs are announced in the USAID website and also on the National Academies of Science and on the government websites. And this is less competitive because they give a quota for each university, a certain percentage of grants for each university. So you will be competing with your university applicants only, not for the whole country applicants. And as I said before, this is differ from country to country. There is some small grants for programs like agricultural development programs, and the opportunities are open for collaboration. Even if there is no funding, you can speak and collaborate with them as an organization or institute. We have in Africa certain entities that give funds for capacity building and for research, and these entities either across Africa or institutional. We have the African Academy of Sciences that give support to building research and development infrastructure, innovation and entrepreneurship, and developing young scientists. You can explore the opportunities across their website. Some of these programs are ongoing, and others are already accepted and applicants are receive the fund and working in these programs, and there are some still calls open if you want to explore the website. There are some building research and development infrastructures, like developing excellence in leadership training and science in Africa. This program was giving fund for different institutes in Africa. There are some programs for clinical trials community. This is to make like a directory for clinical trials ongoing in Africa, helping them to be more visible, and sometimes giving funds for training, and also some medical and research industries collaborate with the African Academy of Science to open calls for some grants. There is also the World Academy of Science, TUS. The World Academy of Science open calls for fellowships and for research and projects grants for visiting scientists. They give hours and medals, and also they have science diplomacy and other training programs. There are two open calls, but the time is very near. The one call is close 30 September and one closes 9 October. This is the TUS fellowship program, and this program is very good for young scientists searching for a fellowship program that's short in duration and also improve their collaboration and mentoring. Those who finish these fellowships become members for the World Academy of Science and become mentors for future students. Also, the science diplomacy training program is closed now, but it opens different times during the year, and also it improves communication of science, either with science communication or science public communication. There are also the National Academies of Science or National Academies of Science and Research. These academies, like in Egypt, we have the Egyptian Academy of Research. This image from there. The national academies provide small funds for certain programs, like funds for graduation projects for students in universities. Also, they announce joint programs and make collaboration with other countries, with other institutes. We have different collaborations in Egypt and different calls across the year. Also, they have some hours for excellence in science, either for the graduate students or for postgraduate and young scientists. These are less competitive and give a small amount of money, but this can support juniors starting many projects. And also now they have a great work in innovation projects and starting supporting innovation camps and innovation labs. They have hours for innovation and support them travel abroad and apply for different international opportunities. And also they can give support for building innovation and technology labs inside universities. This is also the African Development Fund. The African Development Fund is from African Development Bank. This is joint funds with governments. This is not open for organizations or for individuals, but with governments. So the announcement will be after making the agreement between the African Development Bank and the governments. No specific time frame. It depends on the discussion between the governments and the bank, and the opportunities also can be seen in their website. There are some governments that provide grants for international students, like the German governments, like the Spanish government, and different others like China, like Japan. These funds are announced mainly on the Academies of Science or on these governments' websites. Here we can see the African German for excellence in sciences. This is a network that is support junior research grants and intra-African mobility grants. This call is open now. This targeted the PhD students and also junior researchers. The fund is a small amount, 1,000 to 3,000 euros, and the duration is from 1 month to 3 months for doing some collaboration for future research and for mainly joining a researcher or a senior researcher or a lab for a target aim to achieve. Regarding small grants only, we have Einstein Foundation Award for promoting quality in research. This award is 3 sectors: individual for individuals, and institutional award, and early career award. This award is ranges from 1,000 euro to 2,000 euros. This will be directed to a proposal for promoting quality in research. This is the main idea, not for doing research itself, but a proposal to promote quality in research. And the application is now closed. One of the initiatives directed for Africa is the Africa Oxford Initiative. The Africa Oxford Initiative is in Oxford University in UK. This initiative have mainly objectives for research, innovation, mobility, and mobility for students and staff. Each sector open call in certain time, and it is also have some calls open. It supports training and improving the performance of research. The students or staff may be accepted for living and working for certain time with Oxford professor or Oxford research teamwork. They have fully funded for their living and for their training and for their projects, and then they return to their institute to apply what they have learned there. And this open a collaboration network between Oxford and African institutes. This is a very important link and one of the least competitive grants that can apply. Also, the opportunity for seniors and for staff here is more, because many grants are directed for those who are junior or below 35. Here we have a sector for staff mobility. Also, there is organization for women in science in the developing world with a severe foundation. This is a joint award. This is directed for women. Sorry for men, you have not you don't have eligibility to apply here. This is a prize, small prize, 5,000 United States dollar for women who have excellence in STEM fields. And this is directed for science lagging countries, STEM lagging countries. So there are many countries listed on the website. You can explore them here, and the different fees, any STEM fee is eligible, and this helps also collaboration and helps these women to improve their research in the future. There are also Africa Research Excellence Fund. This fellowship is closed for 23, but it will open soon for the future. I couldn't get more details because the website only is open when the fellowship call is open. So this is a link you can follow and see what's the requirements there. The British Academy is a non-governmental organization. This directed for humanities and social sciences. This sector feels sometimes disappointed because most grants are directed for science, technology, and mathematics fields. And I try to bring some for social sciences and humanities. This one is directed for them, and it gives support for training and for research in these fields. The British Council have different offices in different countries, and the calls differ from country to country. There is some sort of collaboration between UK government and cultural sectors with different countries. This is, for example, from Egypt. This is research environment support and also research consultancy opportunities. There are international research workshops. For research environments, it is Egypt is the only African countries eligible for this opportunity, and the application here you need a partner from UK, and the British Council can help you if you don't already have a partner. It will help you get a partner, and this fund up to 50,000 euros, and the duration up to 12 months, maybe up to 18 months also, and the applicants apply through this website, but also should be institutional applications. This is institutional. And the Egyptian partner will work closely with the UK partner. Some other countries like Thailand, Iraq, and Turkey are eligible for this. And also in Egypt, we have Newton Musharrafa Fund. This is for fellowship programs, and this is highly competitive program also. So you can explore the British Council website at your country. You will find different opportunities for training and for research. The same for British Council apply to different cultural offices. There are the French cultural office, there is German, there are different governments that provide visiting program for students and for staff, mobility programs, and sometimes supply small grants for training. Either they provide the training themselves or provide grants for institutional training. For myself, I received different training programs from the British Council in Egypt through my institute, Al-Azhar University. This is the West African Research Association, NGO, also provide grants for mobility fellowships and travel grants for its members only. One of the most interesting websites you can go through is the AuthorAid. and ASFI website. This is mainly directed for capacity building and research. Here you can find some MOOCs for training, self-paced training, also with supported by facilitation. They sometimes announce travel grants for attending conferences or events, and provide small grants for providing training in certain fees within the capacity building objective. This is a small grants, mostly not exceed $5,000, and no opportunities open now, but you can follow also the website. For those who are interested in doing scholarship in UK, there's a Shilling Scholarship Program. This is a fully funded program. It funds flights, it funds accommodation, and the course fees all are included. This is scholarships and fellowships for education and research. About 1 year to obtain master degree in UK. It is highly competitive, but this is a good opportunity to explore international research and build a collaboration. Then you can apply for more opportunities during your postgraduate and your following stages. There is a list of some funders and websites for providing funding opportunities. You can explore each of this, and if you find something interesting, you can go more deep and apply. After exploring these funding opportunities, there are many funding opportunities in Africa, but we just provided some examples. These examples are the most important ones, and also we see that applications are going more in this to these funders, but you can explore more. We need a roadmap for getting funding for your research. How to do this? At first, you should set your goals. What do you want to do by this fund? Do you want to complete your thesis? Do you need funding for your research? Do you need a visiting program or exchange or mobility program? Do you need to attend an event like conference or training program or course? Do you need capacity building program? After this, identify the target funder and know your funder closely. What they fund, amount of funding, time frame for and deadline for applications, and the eligibility criteria and selection criteria to know who you will compete with, so you can prepare yourself properly. You can also sign up for newsletters if applicable to receive updates from these funders. You should read carefully all documents on this website to know everything about the opportunity. Even if you don't find details about future opportunities, you can go through past opportunities, previous calls, so you will get some ideas. The difference from year to year in between calls are not too much. No extreme changes in eligibility criteria and selection criteria. So you can take idea to see if this funder is the one that fits your requirements or not. You can start preparing your documents and references. Sometimes opportunity you cannot apply to one funding opportunity because they need letters of support or letters of recommendation from people who work closely with you, and you don't have time to get this, or you don't have time to contact those people and say what they will respond and so on. So you can start preparing these documents and also prepare your proposal. This proposal can be changed according to requirements after that. Be sure that funding applications are always competitive. The competition is increasing if the funder is international, if the opportunity is open for different countries. So take this into your consideration. You need to write a good proposal. You need to showcase yourself. You need to invest in writing this proposal. So your application is in the right place and speaks too much about what you want to do. If you succeeded, celebrate your success, but do not forget to guide others. Be a mentor for your colleagues to follow your successful path. And also take into consideration that failure does not mean you failed. This means this opportunity is not suitable for you, or there is something you need to learn. Take it as a learning opportunity and take it as a motivation to apply in future applications, and do not get disappointed. Learn from successes and failures of your colleagues, and it is maybe useful if you have previous applications from your colleagues to see the comments of reviewers, or to have guide from them about why this item is takes a low score and why this item takes a high score, so you can benefit from these applications. And as we said, learning here is very important. Learning is the best way for success. We provide this learning opportunity through African Science Frontiers Initiative. We have different courses for research, capacity building, but mainly we have one of the most interesting courses that people want to attend it more and more because they gain a great experience from this course. This is the research funding and the grant writing course. And we have also a mentoring program. After each course, we have a mentoring program for this, and we will announce the new and updated form of mentoring program before the end of this year. We have Dr. Bright research tips and tricks, and if you go through a YouTube channel, you will find more and more about research writing, research funding, and different tips and tricks you can learn from, and it can improve your writing technique. We here have learning, knowledge and skill exchange. We have collaboration and also mentoring through ASFI platform. So please don't go away. Keep tuned with ASFI and join our events and join our network. This is a family. This is a family where each member supports others, and we are all working for the same idea, for improving the research and science environment across Africa. You are welcome to join us. Thank you. If you have any questions, you are welcome.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Eman,
Thanks.
for that beautiful, very beautiful, detailed presentation. It's not just a presentation, it's a cocktail of detailed sources of information you will not want to miss. So please, I have put a link on the chat box. If you want to have the presentation, please fill that Google form. It requires just three pieces of information from you: your first name, your last name, your email. That is it. It takes only 15 seconds, except your name is very long. But otherwise, if your name is moderate. 15 seconds. Fill it if you want to, because I don't think you will want to miss this information. I don't even have it. I'm not sure how Eman research and get this in, but they are very, very important information you will not want to miss. So Emma, thanks very much. That is very, very good. Don't put your email on the chat box. Fill the form I have. Don't put your email on the chat box. I have put the I'll put the link there. Ajibola, please, if you can help me to repost it again. So please fill it. We just got one question, Eman. I hope others will ask. Let me show it so that you can start responding to that before if another person will ask. One issue about funding for African women is the age limit pegged on some scholarships, locking out most women who first attend to families and study later. Can funding organizations remove the age limit for African women? I think this is an important question, and I think many funders have a way around it, but Eman, it's over to you, please.
Thank you so much for this question. You got into my mind. This is not only for women. This is disappointing item in some funding opportunities that they limit the age sometimes to 35 or 40, and this inhibits several people from application because in different African countries, sometimes we have time to get funds for our university degrees. Some may take more time till they start their postgraduate studies, and sometimes also they know about the opportunities after time post. You know that before 3 years, we don't have this collaboration. Many people don't know about these opportunities. If this is your first time to hear about the funding opportunities, you will get disappointed if you find age limit is less than 35. For women, yes, this is there is need for some excuses, and some funders make this, but this is not the rule. Sometimes they give you a box to write. If you are above the age limit of this funding opportunity and you think you deserve the application, you can write why you reach this age and still in this junior position and so on. So you can write more about details about the hindering and challenges you face that convince them you deserve to be a successful applicant. But what I thought before is that we need to raise this request to funders. Please don't put age limits for funding opportunities, especially for African and developing countries. We just started to know about the presence of opportunities. The internet and the technology support is not the same in all African countries, and so the opportunities for collaboration just started to improve. So this is special request. We will try to do something after getting the results of our funding survey. We will see what people say about this item, and we can take actions for ASFI, and we hope it will be successful and the funders will be convinced to remove age limit. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Emma, for that. I think a second question has come, and I will just put it on the screen here. It says, can I write one proposal and submit to more than one funders within the same time?
Yes and no. You can write one proposal, but you cannot submit the same proposal to more than one funder because each funder has specific requirements. And the details written in the proposal sure will not be the same for each funder. If you attended the research funding course, there is activity that Dr. Bright provides is know your funder and read carefully the requirements for funding opportunity. The requirements are different from funder to funder, and so the proposal will not be the same. Your topic will be the same, and sometimes you can apply for more than one funding opportunities if they allow this. Some like small grants we presented here, they encourage application for more funding body, more than one funding body to get more money to support your project. So you can apply for the same project to more than one funder, but not with the same proposal. Did you get my idea?
Yeah, Eman, you're right. You're right. I think sometimes, what Eman was saying, that grant writing is competitive. I think it is one of the most competitive aspects of science.
Yes.
And that is obviously so, because money has a language. Money is scarce. And those who have money, I want to give it for a good cause and not Santa Claus. They give it to those who deserve it. So honestly, if you want, you need to be serious. So you can't take a grant application you have written for USAID and submit to African Union like that. No. African Union has its rules, has its format, has its requirements. So you need to sit down to understand, what does African Union need? I mean, if you don't do that, you think that the grant is already meant for you. No, it's not meant for you. There are some places where thousands of people are applying for the same grant, and everybody is doing super well to knock out the next person. So you need to fight hard. And one way to start fighting hard is to look at instructions, understand the instructions, follow the instructions, and not be lazy. Once you do that, you have done your part. The funders will see that you're serious. If they don't give you the first time, please keep trying. They may consider it the second time or the third time. All right, Eman, I think there is no, let me see. Okay, there is one that has come here. I can read it from here. He said, I missed submitting a proposal because they asked for ethical authorization, which takes 3 months to process. And payment for ethical authorization is costly when you are not sure of being accepted. So what is the question here?
I think
I can't get the question.
comment. This is a comment, right, that you need to
Okay.
read the instructions. Some funders let you get all requirements, not only ethical approval. Sometimes you need approval from certain entities in your countries. Not only your university, you can need more approvals from government offices and different entities. If you don't do that, your application will not be eligible and you will not be accepted. And some funders need you to provide these proofs during application process. So you need to read the requirements. Even if you don't have these documents for the future call, go through previous calls and see what they need. So you will be prepared because the call is open for certain time. Sometimes the process is very complicated at your institute and it takes more time. So you will be prepared and know who and where to get these approvals. Thank you for clarifying this point.
All right, thank you, Eman. Thank you, man.
Also, right, as you said before, that we need to speak in the funder's language. Each funder have specific objectives from this money, what they want to achieve. So our proposal should be directed to convince them that I am the best person to achieve your goals through giving me money to proceed in my project. This will be different when you write different proposals for different funders, though the main research idea is the same.
Mm-hmm. That is great. I mean, it is good that the questions are now around how can I succeed, and Eman has mentioned it before. Sometimes it's not the scarcity of the funders. Sometimes it's the scarcity of capacity. Scarcity of capacity. I don't know how to do it. The last, I think it was the last tips and tricks we had. We talked about CVs and cover letters. Sometimes colleagues, we take some of these things for granted. If you want to succeed as a scientist, you need to communicate. You need to communicate, and there are different platforms to communicate. If you're searching for a position, there is a level of communication that is expected there that has its own specific target and specific audience. If you're writing a scientific paper, you need to communicate in that language. In fact, if you're sending a paper to a journal, there are different types of manuscript. You have original manuscript, you have review manuscript, you have commentaries, you have opinions, you have letter to the editors, you have editorials, and so each of them has its language, its focus. All right, so you can write editorial like a original manuscript. It has its focus. All right, and then if you are applying to a funder, it has its target, it has its language, it has its audience. You need to understand that. It needs to flow in your bloodstream. Otherwise, you come back and say, well, I applied 10 of times. It's not working for me. It actually may be that you are not working for it, not that it's not working for you. So it is very important that you are prepared to succeed. And one of the ways is to refine your language, your communication as a scientist. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes sacrifice. And at this point, I have to emphasize what Eman has mentioned before, what ASFI offers. The course we do, the first day, the grant writing course, the first day we spend time to deal with the issue of knowing the funder. Knowing the funder. Knowing the funder is it's a skill you need to have to succeed, because now you go into the heart. You see, these people are sitting on the other side of the divide. They don't see you. They're there. They sit in that room and they develop their strategy, what they want. You here, if you want to apply, you need to go into that room to actually understand what they discussed, what they are looking for. That is how you should go to know. I have a grant I'm thinking of applying. The deadline is next month. And this grant is the Swedish government and Italian government reach an agreement, we want collaboration. So we want researchers from Sweden and researchers from Italy to make a joint application. And I've had collaboration with ongoing collaboration with some colleagues from Italy. And now I'm thinking, okay, why don't we build it and apply to this? And then this, my colleague, I was discussing with her last week. Are you interested in this? She said, yeah, I'm interested, but the role I'm playing now, I don't know if it allows me to apply for this grant. So I'm thinking I'll ask my director. If it doesn't work, I have another colleague who I can suggest. I said, okay, let me know. But one thing is that the collaboration we have built now, you have been the face of this collaboration. If we use your colleague, in which I have not collaborated in this project, I've collaborated with him in another project, but if he comes to replace, then what happens is that our chances of succeeding is reduced, all right, compared to when you are the one I'm using. Because in the grant writing, you need to be strategic. It needs to be so strategic. Your argument needs to be strategic. In the last 4 years, I've built this collaboration with this colleague, and we have produced this. All right. Now, if I apply with a new colleague, while the colleague I've been collaborating becomes secondary, then the funders will ask, but why didn't you use this colleague? This is a new person. And you have not had any collaboration with him that is related to what we have funded. Well, your chances reduces. What I'm saying is, in the grant writing process, you need to be strategic. You need to build your argument in a way that is so convincing. They see tangibility, and they can say, if we give our money to this group, they will succeed. They will do better. They will increase in what they are doing. Anyway, I don't want to give you all the secret of what the grant writing course is. I'm just trying to let you know that if you have not attended that course, you need to come, because there are things we will deposit in you, and you go out and you will succeed. I don't know if anyone has any question. If you want to speak, I think we have around 10 minutes to do that. Just raise your hand. I will unmute you.
This is a question, right, about how to get grant for attending conference. I think the way for this, you can explore funders who give support travel grants or conference attendance. But also, if you are in certain discipline, you have certain associations or scientific societies, like here in respiratory medicine, we have European Respiratory Society, we have Pan-African Thoracic Society. These societies sometimes give funding opportunities or grants for attending their conferences, or even support other conferences within the same field. So you need to be member or to explore opportunities in your discipline. This is the best way to get grants for attending conference. Also, the National Academies of Sciences sometimes give, but the amount of money is limited. They do not fund the whole items, starting from conference registration and travel and accommodation. They give a limited amount of money that can help you. Also, institutes, sometimes it is now stopped in Egypt because of the economic situation, but previously, some universities give amount of money for support attending international conferences, and this is also competitive and given every 3 years or a certain duration of time. There's some ideas. Mostly other colleagues in your discipline can give you advice about this. This is industries sometimes give grants for attending conferences and so on.
And Emma, you forgot to mention SFI too. SFI conference.
Yes.
So so one of the criteria, you need to be a member. We have given lots of scholarships for SFI conference that is coming in November, as well as our courses. Yeah.
This is a question for you, Bright, to say what ASFI membership gives. What's the benefits for being a member of ASFI? This is a question in chat, so I did it for you.
Yeah. I mean, being an SFI member, there are quite a lot of benefits you get. I will talk a little bit more about our courses that are coming up. There is a member designated fee for the courses. If you're not a member, your fee is different. And within the members, you have a little secret as well, because the members who are interested in attending those courses can also apply to get those courses attended free or discount on top of the discount already received. So that is one of the benefits. For the conferences, for the SFI conference as well, we have member-based fee. And on top of that, some members actually get to attend it free of charge. So there are quite a lot of benefits you get being an SFI member. The mentoring we talked about now is now limited to SFI members, and the members are working hard to get senior members of the membership to mentor junior members of the membership. And then we have what is called research interests. Now the members are building database of different research interests in which people can come together and collaborate. Because I saw one of the questions, does SFI have a platform where people can collaborate? If you're a member, that platform is there. People can collaborate and do things together. Well, and now I mentioned about SFI research. We do. At the conference that is coming, many members of SFI are already working on the research we have done and are writing abstract and are going to present. That becomes a capacity building platform for them. For the junior ones, they can learn how to work through their data, how to formulate their questions, how to analyze their data and write abstract. It's a training. You get quite a lot of things just being a member here, and you can see your career growing. You can see the dimensions of your career increasing. So I will encourage you, if you have not joined SFI membership, the membership for this year ends in December. If you still want to join, the door is open for you. But if not, be the first to join next year so that you can start already enjoying the benefit from January. And the beauty of it is that we'll continue to improve and increase in our programs. For you, it is for you. It is for you so that you can do better. There is no need to just be hearing about it, just hear and then you go. No, be part of the story. Be part of the story. So I think when we do that, we will all be happy for that.
It's totally,
all right.
it's worthy to say, right, that the conference is totally organized and all activities are led by ASFI members. So this is also important training opportunity for them about leadership and event organization and leading the several subgroups and several activities of the conference.
Mm-hmm. That is very important, you know, sometimes we as scientists, we lock ourselves in our labs. We lock ourselves in our offices. We are doing science. Science is beyond writing papers. Science is beyond working in a lab. Science is leadership. Science is networking. Science is collaboration. Science is organizing events. Those are all included. So once your CV is able to outline some of the things you have participated in, then somebody sees you as a very broad-based scientist who can fit in different different tasks. And that is one of the things SFI members get. So as Eman mentioned, one of the things that has happened is that the conference we're organizing is organized only by members. The fantastic programs that are coming up, members meet. Some meet every week talking about these issues. And it's so beautiful that you can see them developing their skills. They can adapt in different situations. Organizing a conference like this is not easy. And they have been there close to, I think, 10 months now. They have been organizing this. And then you can see that with such amount of energy and time they have put into this, it has broadened their perspective. They can see their development and they can relate. So there are many things being an SFI member can offer to you. If you're not there yet, you can reach out to members, ask them what they benefit quite a lot. And within the membership, we have a division into junior assembly members and senior assembly members. Each assembly has its own programs. They have chairs, they have vice chairs that are responsible for their programs and can help them to develop developmental programs and other things they organize within those assemblies. So please do well to join. All right. I don't see any hand and I don't see more questions. So I think I will go straight to finalize. Eman, thank you very much for this. So if you have not filled the link to receive the presentation, please do so. I think we have posted it again. Please do so that we can send it to you immediately after this. Then please help us also to evaluate today's seminar. And I think everyone will give it a thumbs up because you have very valuable and resourceful information this evening. So please don't miss those links. All right, let me quickly tell you what is happening. And this is the 10th edition of the Science Seminar Series, The Game, the Gain, and the Pen. African scholars share their grand experiences. Evidence from SFI survey. So we sent out a survey to gather information to know from different perspectives the experiences of African scientists related to grant writing and research funding. And then we have come out with some exciting results. The next edition, the October edition, will be on these issues. We want to tell you what African scientists talk about, what they think, what their story is, what their experiences is, related to things like sources of research grants from different disciplines. Where do different disciplines get their grant? And perhaps it could be another dimension to what Eman has presented this evening. The issue of mentorship, institutional-based capacity building, and the issues of funding sources. What is the contribution of mentoring? What is the contribution of institutional capacity building on African researchers' research grant sources? How much do they think they need this type of activities to support them? And then we look at issues of funding agencies in Africa. How much does an African scientist know about the funders in their area? And many more. It's going to be a panel discussion. We have set up a team that has really supervised this research survey. And so the team will be coming in October to tell us the experiences, what they have found. From what we know, it's going to be a preliminary closure, and we hope that the full detail will come later on in the year or at the beginning of next year, where they will present the full report. But we want to get these ideas and discuss them. So please don't miss it. It's on the 29th of October. More information will be coming. Yes, Eman alluded to this. Dr. Warren's research tips and tricks. This is the 20th edition. So far, we have come 20th edition, getting to 2 years now. We have been running this every month, and I am sure if you have been following this, you would have picked one thing or the other that will support your career development. So data do not speak for themselves. First principles of storytelling with data. It is coming, and it is coming this coming Friday. So please join us. Don't miss it. Yes, the abstract submission is still ongoing. We're actually on the late breaking abstract for the conference, and it is ending on the 30th of September. If you have not submitted the abstract, please do so. You wouldn't want to miss this maiden event. We have assembled lots of exciting programs, and we hope that you will join us to tell the story of what you are doing. So please go to this site and submit your abstract. And then for the conference as well, please do well to register for the conference. The early bird registration is ending 30th of September. And from 1st of October, the late registration fee will take effect. So please do so and register so that you don't pay more expensive fee for the conference. Yeah, these are the keynote speakers. Keynote speakers. We have assembled our fathers and our mothers, our sisters from across the continent who have built their career and are ready, very ready to tell their stories to encourage us. So please don't hear from your colleagues of what happened at this conference. Join us. And then this is the research funding and grant writing course. For the first time, we are taking it only Saturday evenings. So it's going to run from the 14th of October to 2nd of December. It has usually been Monday to Friday, 7 to 8 hours. We trash it and we go our ways. But it appears that colleagues really find it more relaxing if we can take it weekends and then run it for a longer period of time. We are going to do that. So this time and see how it goes. If you have not registered, do so. Whether you receive discount or scholarship or not, please register and join us. Don't continue to ask that question. How do I do this? How do I do that? You have the time now, please do that. And then following that, we have the art of scientific writing and publishing. Many times, scientists think that once you can write, you can write. Well, it's not so. It depends on what you can write. If you can write a grant, doesn't mean that you can write a scientific paper. If you can write a scientific paper, doesn't mean that you can write a grant. They are two different things altogether. Two different things. Okay? And even within the scientific writing, there are different types of writing. Right. So this is another course that is coming up. We still have time to apply, but we'll be running it in December. So please don't fail to join this. If your goal is to be able to publish and publish well, this course is a course you will not want to miss. All right. So here comes the end of our program this evening, and colleagues, thank you for coming. I am ready to land on my bed. Emma, thank you very much for this evening. So please, if you have not filled any of those forms, do so, and I will wish you a wonderful week ahead, a wonderful week ahead. Let me see if you want to say something. Let me unmute you now. Yeah, you can unmute yourself and say bye as you go. Thank you, colleagues. And yeah, Eman,
Bye.
you need to unmute yourself.
Yes.
Thank you,
We have
Professor.
Bye.
we have
Thank you.
important stories on the website. You can explore for those succeeded grants after attending the course. You can enjoy their stories.
Mhm.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
Bye.
Thank you, Prof. Eman.
Thank you.
Thank
God
you.
bless you.